Hello everyone, today's video will be a compilation of Reddit posts I've previously done deep dives on, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. On May 4th, 2023 at 5:30 AM, a Redditor of the name Bubble Roxy would make a post on the RBI subreddit asking for help about how to deal with their landlord stalking them. Their post is as follows. I, a 24-year-old female, am renting a private room and private bathroom in a home with a family of 4. My room is a loft that has stairs directly outside my door that leads down to 3 doors. My bathroom, the garage, and their home. They told me the door to their home will be locked at all times and the garage will be my private entrance. Backstory, this is my landlord's first time renting out a space in her house, so she is new with this. In the listing and viewing, she made it seem that even the staircase/hallway is private. I was so excited that the room, staircase, and bathroom was all private to me. Note, during this time there was no door from my room, so right when you go up the stairs, you're automatically in. First time sleeping there, I left my place and locked both the side door of the garage and the garage door. I ended up getting locked out because the key to the side door is not the same as the garage door. She told me I should never lock the garage door, only the side door, because they need to use it as a pass-through to get to their garage. I was never made aware that this was going to be used as a pass-through prior to me signing the lease/contract. I addressed that I am uncomfortable because I thought all these areas were gonna be private to me. I am even more uncomfortable because I have no door to my room. For the first week, I slept with no door while they walked back and forth from their house and garage, having no privacy. I work night shifts, so I sleep during the day. They can easily see me or just walk in if they wanted to. She ended up giving me a key to the garage door for extra security, but I never lock it because the one time I did lock it, I was in the restroom and I heard her yell out to her daughter, "Why is this door locked?" I don't think she knew I was there. Next thing you know, I see them changing the locks to all their home doors. I'm guessing the garage door key was the same as their actual home key. She stated there is a door, that it's in the wall. The door ended up not being functional. My dad had to fix it so it can actually slide and close. Once closed, there is a huge gap on the bottom, 5 inches, so no insulation or soundproofing. Another thing I was concerned, I wanted a lock for my door. She said I couldn't lock the door because as a landlord, she needs access to my room, which I do understand, but I wanted some type of privacy and protection for my landlord. She ended up installing a swivel lock on my door which I can lock whenever I'm sleeping, but not when I leave the premise. Other things, when I come home, I would sometimes see my door slightly open, half open, etc. I feel like someone is accessing my room. This is the same with my bathroom door which I always close. She never told me she had cameras pointing directly at the side door and also outside the garage door common areas when I moved in. She got upset with me because I would come in and out of the house in the middle of the night multiple times. I'm on night shift mode, and asked why I keep coming in and out because she sees it in the camera. My overhead room light broke one time, told her about it, and I said please don't come into my room until I get home. She said, "Oh, I already fixed it." So she went into my room without my permission. I go up and down the stairs. Moments later, I hear someone open the door downstairs, turn on the hallway light for a second, turn it off, and go back into the house. Like they don't know there is a person living here. I hate how they check up on me. I just don't understand why she could protect herself and her family, but I cannot equally protect myself. She changed the locks to her doors. She has these cameras without disclosing, but I can't have my own door or a real lock. I don't even mind if she has a key to my room, and I only have the side door as my door I can lock. If someone were to break into the house, my room will be the first target. Security is the least you can do for a tenant. I had to sleep in a stranger's home without a door for a week as a young woman, and they thought that this was okay. I always stress that I am a very private person. I was thinking of putting a camera in my room. Is it illegal to put a small camera right outside my sliding door that is in the hallway? I just want to ensure that my landlord isn't going into my room and see why they are constantly checking up on me. I just need advice on this whole landlord situation. Bubble Roxy would also point out, she said, in a case of emergency. I honestly think she's trying to treat me like her daughters, like trying to get me included with her family. Don't get me wrong, she is also very nice. She bought me brand new appliances in my room that cost over $1,000 prior to moving in, even bought me a new dresser. Makes me baked goods, but yeah, she can be a bit weird. This may or not mean anything, but she's a recovered alcoholic of 10 years. Ever since the time she fixed my light, nothing weird has been happening. The only thing is them checking up on me still, opening the door to check the hallway every time I use the stairs. Like, why are they checking on me? When they open the door to the pass-through, there's nothing but my stairs and those 2 closed doors. Unless they go into the garage, there's no reason for them to check there unless they're curious about me. Other than that, no more moved doors. I'm still going to install a camera. Also, I live in California. Well, this is good that Bubble Roxy's looking to install a camera in their room. Another Redditor would make a great piece of advice with them stating, put a camera in and see what is going on. Also, it seems like maybe she is just doing too much. Like maybe she sees it as being a good landlord and trying to be a friend, but you 1000% deserve your privacy. I think maybe a conversation to extent of, I know you are trying to help and I appreciate many of the things you've done, but these, tell her specifically, are the things I have a problem with and just want to know if we can fix them. Again, I enjoy the space and am grateful for what you've done, but I'm an adult and would like my privacy and also like to live the way I expected and was told when I signed the lease. Either way, I hope you figure it out. The situation you described would drive me crazy. Putting a camera in to see who may be coming in and out of OP's apartment I think is a good idea. And even if the landlord is innocent and just being nice as a friend, OP deserves their right to privacy. OP would also state that their landlord asked for $1,500 a month, which they then agreed on $1,200 a month due to there being no kitchen or closet. Some Redditors would point out that this is actually illegal according to California law, with one of them stating, no kitchen or closet, you are living in an illegal bedroom per California state law. I am also guessing, since I read the landlord is renting herself, that she's not allowed to sublet, thus also being illegal. Also, I said this in other comments, you are absolutely overpaying. Please go to your nearest rental rights organization. Most cities in California have one, and either file a complaint or ask for help in getting out of your illegal lease. Also, if you want to be assertive here, find out who owns the house and get in contact with them and key them now. I am a landlord in California, Santa Cruz, and would definitely want to know if anything like this was happening. Disgusting on her part, seriously dishonest too. Absolutely illegal, and you are living with a false and illegal lease, so you can walk out tomorrow and she can't say a word. The second Redditor would also state, OP, you are entirely being ripped off and renting an illegal subletted room. She is not your landlord, she is your roommate, and you have zero protections in this situation since you're not on any lease. Landlord laws don't apply and you could lose your living space in a heartbeat or worse. This is not a safe environment for you to be in. Please, you need to get out ASAP, even if it means staying with friends or family while you look for something else. Considering she's not even legally renting you a livable space, you can piece out of there anytime without any notice. Don't be so concerned about being nice at your own expense. You could find an actual roommate in an actual apartment situation where you're on a real lease for the same price, rather than being a roommate to an entire family who are taking advantage of you and being shady. OP would even mention that her landlord will eventually find a contract for her to sign, with them also stating, I can tell the contract was just a generic rental agreement form and found online. No tenant laws were listed on it, Megan's Law, etc., just do's or don'ts, lease time costs. Another Redditor would also bring up some good points with them stating, the first and most important thing is to look up tenant rights in your location. If you are in a large city, check rights both for your state and for the city, as the latter may be more expansive. Do you have a lease? You may also want to verify the terms of your lease against the laws in your area, as well as a beginner landlord is likely to mess up somewhere. Even long-term landlords mess up sometimes. Finally, you have to stand up for yourself and for your rights. Do you have your landlord's cell phone number or email? Communicate with her in writing to stand up for your rights to a private living space. If she continues to be resistant, you might want to look into getting a lawyer who can help you figure out the best next steps. You can call the bar association for your state to help you find someone. They usually have a lawyer referral service. You most likely have the right to put up cameras in your own private space. I think this is good advice. OP should definitely verify the terms of their lease as well as trying to get a lawyer to help them out with the situation. As of right now, the situation is still ongoing, so I will probably do a video in the future giving an update to the situation. On February 27th, 2019 at 5:08 p.m, a Redditor of the name Please Help Us TA would make a post on the Legal Advice subreddit asking for help about a violent stalker that will not leave them alone. Their post is as follows. Stalker believes I belong to him and is threatening to kill my family. His arrest only made him more aggressive. Please help us. It's hard to make this coherent and safe for me, but I'll try my best. I am in desperate need of advice and guidance, so I really hope people can offer some insights. I have to be really careful not to tip this person off, so please just ask questions if I come across as too vague. This is the United States PNW. I am a stalking victim of a very mentally sick person. I met them 18 years ago in sort of a teaching situation and had minimal contact with them within the program. They were not sick at the time, just a regular student. I was close in age to the students, so I was very adamant about boundaries to maintain professionalism. Thus, Thus, I didn't hear from them for 13 years. Then 5 years ago, the student reached out, but in an alarming way. I tried to be polite, but they frightened me, so I asked them not to contact me again. I wasn't ever close to this student, so I didn't know why they were even reaching out. For 3 years, this person became increasingly aggressive, threatening, and stalkerish, declared me as his property, that he was going to rescue me, and that I had to return to him. If I didn't, he would kill me. I reported him, but the police were not very helpful with my reports. He couldn't find me in person, so he reached out over various electronic and phone methods, always finding different ways to contact me. I stopped using social media and I stopped going out as much, stopped answering my phone, and yet it kept escalating. Eventually, I had enough and petitioned my rights with the law. I had mountains of evidence to the point where multiple judges stated outright shock and alarm. He was arrested, charged, jailed for several months, and an official protective order was issued. He refused mental health evaluation and help. He was arrested a couple times again for minor violations of the order, but nothing serious enough for jail time. Well, he's been out for a couple of years, and over the past few months has begun obsessing over me again. While he isn't contacting me directly, he is posting about me over numerous social media and online platforms. My name, my picture, lots of defaming lies about our relationship. However, the most concerning thing is, his death threats have become much more pronounced, violent, and frequent. He stated that he is going to kill everyone around me, talks about killing my siblings, about killing my neighbors, how he's going to kill members of the church I used to attend, anyone who talks to me. He despises me and wants me to suffer and then return to him. Here's the rub. I've called various resources for advice on what to do, and to them, it's pretty cut and dry. His current behavior violates the protective order and he'll be arrested. But then what? So he is out again in a few months, even more angry at me and agitated? He 100% blames me for his original arrest/jailing. He sees no connection between his behavior and death threats and why he was jailed. He is very mentally sick, and he even testified that I bribed the judge and police and have them under my control. So if I have him charged for violating the order on me, I am fairly confident he will try to kill me upon release, or my family. I have been considering approaching the situation on the side of the mass death threats and less with the focus on me. For one, he thinks I am a part of a specific religion, so I am worried he will try to harm its members. He was written that he will. From what I've seen on True Threat Legal Doctrine, his writings warrant that label. He is convinced my family is a part of this religion too, so he's described my family members from that point, and part of the reason for why they deserve to die. With those aspects, could this be sort of a case that the FBI could handle? Is there any way to approach this general threat to multiple people without making me the face of the case? I desperately wish to avoid returning to court, as I am certain that it would only reinforce this behavior, i.e. threaten to kill people get to see me. What can I do? How can I make this about his threats, and less about my protection order? Please help me, I am scared for myself and for my family. Redditors would begin to give their suggestions and advice as to how to deal with the situation. One piece of advice I really liked was from a Redditor named Jabroni Lawyer. Their comment is as follows: my best advice, be in regular contact with the police. If there is an officer at the department who is in charge of his file, get their card so you can call them directly. Report every breach, every threat. Don't let a single incident go unreported. Keep a careful journal of every event. Refuse all contact with him, block him on everything, and do not let him know your whereabouts. Never respond to him if he does contact you. Ask the police for all the help you can get to protect your safety. Each incident is an example of how that person should not be trusted to abide by conditions. The person seeking bail must justify why they should nonetheless be trusted. So the more reports there are, the more breaches there are, and the more serious the breaches are, the more skeptical a judge is of his case and more likely to err on the side of your safety. DAs may not blink at 1 or 2 breaches, but if there is a list as long as their arm, they will prepare very carefully. They do not want to let a guy out and have someone hurt because of it, and not reporting it is also reinforcing his behavior. If you cave to his threats, he then has leverage over you. I know court is daunting, stressful, and like having your emotions physically wrung out of you, but it may be your best option. The one thing I could tell you about this sort of person is that they are not reasoning properly. He will not accept responsibility. It is like negotiating with a hurricane. They are going to do what they are going to do almost regardless of what you say. If you cave, they make it violent. If you do not cave, they make it violent. At least with the latter, the police are around. Stay safe. This is excellent advice. OP should stay in regular contact with the police and write down everything in a report with everything that has happened to them. OP would reply to this comment stating, "Thank you so much for taking the time to reply, I genuinely appreciate it. I have kept meticulous records of his threats in post. I have about 20 instances of true threats, documented with the site posted, date, time, username, proof, etc. Going through the process of reporting him and testifying against him the first time definitely taught me how to assert for myself, how to prove his violation of my rights, and how to stick to my guns. My concern this time is it's not just me. He is making repeated, specific death threats against people because of their connection to me. He believes the religion I mentioned is holding me against my will, forcing me to hide my true feelings for him. For what it's worth, I am not religious, so not sure where this obsession comes from. He declared the religious leader his enemy and believes some of my siblings are church members posing as my family, acting on its behalf, so he specifically lists these family members as people he will kill. I am not scared of appearing before him in court, but I am afraid of reinforcing his desire to see me." Another Redditor would also give some great advice with them stating, "Hey, I just want to check if you are referring to personal records or if you are notifying the police every time. You need to do that. You should file every threat he makes about you and your family, church, religion. You should probably recruit some people from your church to monitor him as well and report. He is a danger to others and has intent and means he can be involuntarily committed for mental illness if it gets to that point. So I don't understand why he can't be arrested for threats and then brought to the hospital. Overall, I think you gotta report his threats. That's not a joke. Most important thing is reporting everything. Good luck." I also agree with this. OP needs to make sure that they file a report on anyone else their stalker is threatening. OP would also reply to this comment with them stating, "Yes, a combination of both. But when I made my last report, that triggered an arrest without my go-ahead and he was released again and more angry. So I've been hesitating to submit since then. However, taking some of the advice I've gotten here, combined with the feedback from victims' assistants, I submitted more evidence with a statement that I do not want any action without direct consultation with me. Not that I can stop them, but I want to know that I'm not signing my own death warrant by giving them evidence. I'm compiling a subfolder of his specific threats against the religion and submitting it to the local FBI field office. I just want to proceed with caution on that so that I'm not made the face for that investigation, especially as I am not a member of the religion even, just concerned for their safety. I definitely do not want innocent people harmed for their faith. I might not agree with the religion, but all the people I know from it are good, earnest people, and it makes me sick that he honestly believes that they are keeping me captive. Well, this is good that OP is compiling a list of threats and submitting them to their local FBI field office to report it." Another Redditor would bring up a good point with them stating, "I know you think it's going to reinforce his behavior, but the truth is his behavior is self-reinforcing. Every minute you delay bringing this back to the authorities is another minute you've allowed the situation to continue. My advice is to go to the police now and seek the maximum punishment available from the courts. Every time there's the slightest violation, go back again. Eventually the courts will realize that he either needs mandatory mental treatment or that he needs to be locked up, but the only way that happens is if you notify them. The longer you wait, the longer it goes on and the more danger you're in." This is a good point. If OP continuously reports the stalker's behavior to the authorities, it can let the authorities know that this situation is serious enough and needs to be dealt with. OP would eventually give a small update with them stating, "I've been referred to a lawyer in my area that we're meeting with next week, so I am hopeful he could help identify some specific laws my stalker is breaking to hopefully press charges for. A big issue is apparently my state is super behind in laws regarding online death threats. So while he is specifically naming and tagging me, it's hard to know what will stick. I did call the police again, so we'll see." I think this is good that OP is getting a lawyer to help them legally with this situation. Another Redditor would also state that OP should invest in home security and self-defense courses, which OP would reply with, "Yeah, I am checking in with the VA resources on potential local classes. I always keep mace on me, but I may keep bear spray in my car as well. We have a home security system but no cameras, so I'm going to see if we can find an affordable set to add. We have 2 big dogs and one of them is very protective of me." Well, I think this is also good that OP is looking into self-defense tactics just in case the need arises. However, unfortunately, there hasn't been an update since regarding the stalker situation with OP. Hopefully the situation resolved and the stalker went away or was imprisoned. Alright, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this compilation. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to hear another one of these compilations every once in a while. But as always, have a nice day.